online. I think we are happy to be back, and we'll try and address most of your questions, where each of us will come in and address the relevant questions, and then at the end, hopefully, we would have addressed most of the questions that were raised today. I think I'll start with the expected business performance of our business verticals. There is a lot of this information already coming through quarterly results, but I'll reiterate it here. Online BPC market is expected to grow in early 20s over the next several years, giving strong macroeconomic and consumption tailwinds. And as a market leader, we have said frequently that we aspire to grow at mid-20s growth ahead of the overall market growth. So and increase our market share is what our ambition is in the beauty segment. On the fashion side, we had a soft year in financial year 25 due to industry-wide in fashion, we had a soft year in 25 due to industry-wide consumption slowdown in financial year 25. Despite this, we were able to deliver growth ahead of the industry, and we think our fashion growth will accelerate irrespective of, obviously favorable industry wind helps, but there's a fair amount of assortment building in the right partnerships that has been achieved in the fashion business that will allow us to grow ahead of the industry, pretty significantly ahead of the industry. We also saw strong growth recovery in financial year 26 with GMV growth of 25% in the quarter one of 26, which was much ahead of the industry growth. And that performance of fashion post the full year in terms of first quarter performance in terms of both growth and marketing costs, and that momentum continues now, that gives us comfort to say this. On the overall, as a company, all of the initiatives we've embarked on, we feel that they will allow our NSV to grow 3 to 4x the 2025 level by 2030. So in the next 5 years, we will achieve 3 to 4x growth in our NSV for the whole company, and this will be due to expansion in assortment, this is the answer for fashion. So this is, in fashion, we will grow our NSV 3 to 4x due to expansion in assortment across categories of men, women, kids and home, as well as a pretty strong growth in new customer acquisition coupled with retention of strong customer recruit rates, as well as premiumization. And many of the other initiatives on the beauty side will continue to grow as planned, and that will allow us to deliver about 25% or a mid-20s growth rate over the next couple of years. On the second question...
Just take a pause. What is the issue?
We changed it. Can you hear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope all of you heard the answer to the first question. On the second one, what I'd like to address is the impact of GST 2.0 on our business in the future. We welcome government's move to simplify and reduce the GST rates. This, coupled with the tax rate cuts in this year's budget and the interest rates cuts by RBI, would provide consumption-led growth story. Increase in discretionary spending would benefit companies like us that operate in lifestyle categories. Particularly, as you are aware, GST rates have come down from 12% to 5% for most of the fashion category. In the beauty, the rates were around 18%, so they remain the same. The next question was on target for the festive year. What is our target for the festive season? The second half for Nykaa tends to be a strong quarter for lifestyle categories as a whole, and hence even for Nykaa. We look forward to strong festive consumption, which will be further boosted by recent GST cuts and tax reliefs that government have initiated. So overall, like all other participants, everyone is expecting a pretty robust festive season this year. And in fact, we are in the middle of it, and all indications seem to suggest that that's how it will go. How do we balance the customer acquisition costs with long-term profitability? That was the next question asked by people like Mr. Arun Kumar, Ankur Chandna, as well as Gagan Kumar. Nykaa has been conscious about balancing growth and profitability. Since the IPO, we have consistently delivered mid-20s revenue growth. At the same time, our EBITDA margins have expanded from 4.7% in financial year 20 to 6% by financial year 25%. All the businesses continue to see improvement in profitability. Customer acquisition is critical to our long-term growth, and it's also an investment for our future. And we will deliver returns on this investment that we are making in customer acquisition. We remain confident that customer acquisition is being done in a way that customer cohorts will be healthy and we'll be able to achieve healthy customer retention and hence long-term growth. Accordingly, we continue to invest in customer acquisition and prioritize strong customer growth. And as you are aware, we've announced that Nykaa has acquired 42 million customers. Our current cumulative customer base stands at 42 million, which includes the growth of the recent year. And the recent year growth was almost 30% on a year-on-year basis. So beyond this also, we believe that there is a strong runway for customer growth, and we will continue to make relevant investment to ensure long-term growth while focusing on the operational efficiency to deliver near-term profitability. I hope I've answered this question well. Just to point out, I did not highlight it, but the first question on business performance was from Mr. Ashit Pathak and Mr. Jahangir, and the question on the GST was from Mr. Ashit Pathak. And on the festive season, the question was asked by Mr. Jaydeep Bakshi. With that, I move on to the next question. What are the sustainability initiatives such as packaging innovation, renewable energy in warehousing? This is a question from Mr. Arun Kumar Opana. Our 10x10 initiative stated in the year 2022 with a goal to reduce non-recyclable plastic consumption by 10% every year for the next 10 years. And we are happy to say that we are already ahead of this target of our long-term target, and approximately 96% of our shipments are packaged using sustainable materials. For the remaining 4%, we try to recycle or else give it to the authorized vendor of Central Pollution Control Board for recycling. We have recycled more than 2,000 metric tons and 160 metric tons of carbon and plastic waste respectively in financial year 2025. We have undertaken multiple initiatives from environmental sustainability front. We have zero paper utilization for order processing. We call it paperless picking. We also have zero increase in GHG emission intensity, scope 1 and scope 2. 100% reuse of corrugated boxes across all House of Nykaa warehouse. And as a brand owner and importer, we've achieved our EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility target, through a designated recycler. We are 100% EPR compliant since 2021. We also have started installation of a renewable energy system in our operations infrastructure. And we do believe that this will only increase going forward. Our next question was, how many employees do we have, including both permanent and contract? And what is the ratio of male and female employees? And this was from Mrs. Lekha Shah. We have more than 13,000 employees, of which 3,735 are permanent employees. Off-roll and contract employees.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Ma'am, there is a lot of ambience follow-up. Can we please hold this meeting for a while? We need to check the audio as it's not clearly audible. Thank you, ma'am.
we have, including both permanent and contract. Okay, ratio of male and female employees within that. This is a question from Mrs. Lekha Shah. We have more than 13,000 plus employees, of which 3,735 are permanent employees. Off-role and contract employees majorly form part of the operations, warehouse operations, as well as the field on street staff that we have in our B2B business, as well as some of the store advisors. Of the total 3,735 permanent employees, 43% are women. However, I think as some of you all pushed us to have more than 50% women, I would like to share here that if we were to exclude the technology and operations function, 51% of our employees are women. So we are fairly represented on a women, from a women perspective, except in a large area of technology. And I have said this many times, and I will reiterate it here. It remains our dream as Nykaa to enable a lot of STEM education in the country, and through that, over the years, see greater percentage of women entering the engineering fields and entering the engineering job markets, so that this ratio is favorable even in that stream. And with that, Nykaa should be able to have a very fairly represented number of people in the women workforce. Also in our store staff, the beauty advisors are more predominantly women at 57%. And as a result, even in retail network, 56% of staff is BA. I mean, BA, 56% of the staff is women. So thus, we do believe that we will be able to achieve a much better and higher number of women represented in our organization as we continue to grow. On the core management team side, I think this was a question from Mr. Bimal Bhatt. He was asking that, he was guiding us that, we should have more diverse workforce and also represented at the managerial level. So I do want to recognize that as much as 43% of our managerial staff is also women. And similarly, I think women represents about 30% are women in the senior leadership position, including at the board level also, where we have about 30% representation of women. And it remains our commitment that we will continue to improve on these. Who are the main competitors of our business and how are we positioned was the next question asked by many of you, including Bharat and Lata Negandhi, Ankur Chandna, Gundaluru Radappa, and Gagan Kumar, as well as Gautam Nandi. Nykaa is uniquely positioned as we operate multiple digital platforms for both beauty and fashion categories. We are the country's largest beauty retail network and the second largest homegrown beauty brands business. We also have rapidly growing eB2B business. While competition exists for different parts of our business, there is no direct comparability due to sheer size and breadth of what we do. We are also the largest specialty beauty retailer in the country. We have over 37 million beauty customer base and 42 million plus customers across all our platforms. And with 250 beauty physical stores as of July 25 across 82 cities. We are the largest offline beauty retailer as well. Deep and multi-year relationships with brands, including several global brands, where Nykaa, to many of them, Nykaa is a preferred partner, sometimes exclusively listed on Nykaa. And our house of brands, which are getting stronger over the years. Our content and commerce strategy also has a network of 28,000 influencers. It's this whole network of what we offer to the ecosystem is unmatched by any competitor. And we do believe we have 30% plus online BPC market share, and the remaining market share is spread across horizontal platforms, a few specialized retailers, and some D2C websites. Horizontals such as Amazon, Flipkart, and quick commerce players cater to more personal care categories, whereas Nykaa is stronger on the beauty side. On beauty alone, our market share would be considerably higher. As an omni-channel specialized beauty retailer, with scale online and offline presence, we are again significantly ahead of competition. Having said that, Given that the BPC per capita consumption is so low, there is significant growth runway in this category, and there is a potential for strong growth for all stakeholders in the beauty and fashion ecosystem. The next question was on the composition of board of directors. Should we have a young sports person as an independent director below the age of 40 years, and also more women representation as an independent director, say 50% in the next 3 years? This was from Mr. Bimal Bhatt. I think these are all very good questions and very good nudges for us to go in the right direction. And we will continue to follow good governance practices. As per Companies Act, as you know, it's mandatory to have one women director, and at 30% board representation of women, we are already ahead and amongst one of the highest amongst our listed peers. However, it doesn't stop us here, and we will continue to endeavor for more. We also have one woman independent director, Mrs. Anita Ramchandran. More than 50% of our board is independent, and our board comprises of accomplished leaders across diverse backgrounds in entrepreneurship, strategy, finance, marketing, technology, and they have played an instrumental role in stewarding the company in the right direction. And we acknowledge all of their efforts and contribution towards the company. The next question was on, can we give you an update on our GCC business as well as global plans? And this was from Mr. Jahangir. We started our operations in GCC in 2023. We have launched our omni-channel multi-brand retail beauty platform called Nysaa in partnership with Apparel Group. Apparel Group brings in strong retail experience in that market. Our online platform and first store went live in that region in March 2024. We currently have 4 stores across UAE and Oman. We will gradually roll out stores across the region, and we have ambition to launch about 70 stores over the next 5 years. We also have 200 brands already listed in our GCC stores as well as online. We have 200 brands online and about 110 in our stores. Top brands in GCC include highly respectable brands like Kylie Cosmetics, Natasha Denona, Medicube, Dr. Althea, Iconic London, and K-Beauty. We believe GCC offers tremendous opportunity going forward. BPC market in GCC is a US $34 billion market, almost 1.5 times the size of the Indian BPC market, in a population that is only 3% size of India. BPC e-com market is US $3 billion. BPC spend per capita in the GCC is as high as $500 US, highest in the world. And similar to India, it also has a large base of young population. 40% of the population is below the age of 25 years. All this makes GCC a very attractive market. And e-commerce penetration currently in the GCC remains low at 9 to 16% across countries. And there are no scaled omni-channel retailers in the country, with the exception of Sephora, which is predominantly has offline presence. This provides a significant opportunity for Nykaa to build and replicate its beauty playbook in the GCC. And we are very excited to continue to embark and continue to move forward on that path. The other global plans, including taking our brand K-Beauty to UK through a launch at Space NK, which is imminent. And we are quite excited about what that means for K-Beauty to now be recognized globally beyond India. With that, I hand over to Anchit to address some of the questions on the beauty side.
Great, thank you very much. And I hope that I'm audible. Great, so we had a question from Ankur Kumar Bopana on how do we balance the cost structures of offline versus digital first channels, and with 237 physical stores, how are we planning to balance offline expansion with digital first efficiency? So first, let me say that we spent the last decade really focused on building a very truly holistic beauty ecosystem, one that spans across all channels to serve the modern Indian consumer who is shopping across both online and offline today. Our strong omni-channel presence has been a critical success driver for our beauty business. Both our online and offline businesses have delivered strong growth for several years, and both the businesses are profitable today. Retail stores have been critical to our objective of premiumization, and many of our premium and luxury brand partners that retail through our stores, in addition to retailing through our e-commerce platform, are large beneficiaries of this network of stores. Currently, 2/3 of our offline GMV comes from these premium brands. Consumer education is best done in a physical setting, and as believers in education being the largest enabler of demand, we find this to be a very unique part of our overall distribution strategy. Most of our physical retail stores turn EBITDA positive within 9 months of operations, and this is on a fully loaded basis. The average order values of our customers in our physical retail stores is significantly higher than that of our consumers on our online platform and continue to increase year over year. Even with 250 stores across 82 cities today, offline stores contribute roughly 8% of our overall GMV. We aim to reach 500 stores across the top 100 cities in the next 5 years. But despite this expansion, given the scale of our e-commerce business, we will continue to remain an online, digital-first retailer with a very strong offline presence. The next question was from Arun Kumar Bopana and Manjeet Singh. The question is, you've achieved 80% next-day delivery in top 8 cities. Are there any plans to deepen Tier 2 fulfillment to support beauty demand? So it's a good question, and I'll start by saying we have a network of 44 warehouses today versus just 18 in FY21. We invested heavily over the past several years in ramping up our warehouse capabilities, and we are currently at relevant capacity and infrastructure, allowing us to serve customers on a pan-India basis across all 19,000 plus PIN codes of this country, and to serve these consumers across the country with effective speed. Our order to delivery days has come down significantly as we have ramped up our warehouse capacity from 5 days in FY21 to less than 48 hours across India at present. With our existing warehouse network, we have further enhanced our delivery capabilities by introducing same-day and next-day delivery in early FY25. Today, we now deliver 70% plus of our order volume of the top 100 plus cities in India within 24 to 36 hours. We recently launched Nykaa Now in the top 7 cities, which offers the largest beauty assortment in the country today, and that has an order to delivery timeline of 30 minutes to 2 hours. We have thus created very strong fulfillment capabilities across not just Tier 1, but also Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and beyond. And we continue to remain committed to improving our efficiency and speed for our consumers. And as a result, today almost 65% of our revenues comes from Tier 2 cities and beyond, indicating Nykaa's very strong presence across the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Anchit. So moving on, we'll address some of the questions on fashion in the House of Brands. A question we got from Arun Kumar Bopana was, what is the growth outlook for Nykaa's own brands like K-Beauty and others? As of now, the House of Nykaa business has 7 beauty brands and 5 fashion brands and a cumulative GMV of over 2,100 crores. On beauty, that GMV is 1,700 crores, and we are the second largest homegrown brands portfolio. We have stated boldly that by FY30, our ambition for the House of Nykaa beauty brands business is to achieve a GMV of 6,000 crores with a margin profile similar to that of mature consumer brand businesses. On the beauty side, we have built several brands like Nykaa Cosmetics and Wanderlust. Nykaa Cosmetics is now a 350 crore brand in FY25, and K-Beauty, another one of our brands, has scaled 3x since launch in 2019 and is today a 240 crore plus GMV brand. K-Beauty enters the UK this year, partnering with Space & We're also constantly evaluating brands with unique and differentiated offering to see if there is anything that we should be acquiring. Amongst our acquisitions, Dot & Key is an acquisition that we've done. We acquired this brand in 2021 and it's grown 15x since acquisition. Today it has a GMV of over 900 crores plus. Our beauty brands business have scaled really well, not just on Nykaa, but off platform as well. Today, 40% of the GMV of this beauty brands business comes from selling on other platforms. In fashion, two of our brands, which have also achieved significant scale, is Nykd and 20 Dresses. With fashion, we started rationalizing our channel strategy and focusing more on Nykaa itself. Two of our fashion brands have exceeded 100 crores in GMV, which is Nykd and 20 Dresses. With Nykd in particular, we have a very large ambition to be a national brand. It's a lingerie brand, and we feel that the country needs more lingerie brands of this positioning and at this price point, and there's huge potential that this brand has. The next question we received from Ashit Pathak was around what was the rationale for the Dot & Key acquisition and the Earth Rhythm incremental stake acquisition. Are there any more acquisition plans? So we do believe that we will do a combination of both. We will build brands internally, but we will also pursue interesting acquisitions. We evaluate young and upcoming brands with good founders, strong innovation, and very interesting brand positioning. And we really do believe that the creative energy that some of these entrepreneurs bring is really valuable. So we're always on the lookout for interesting brands and interesting entrepreneurs. Dot & Key in particular, we acquired a 51% stake. And then we added on another 39%. And today we have an overall stake of 90%. The brand has scaled 12x since acquisition. And today it's one of the leading D2C skincare brands in the country with a GMV of over 900 crores. Nykaa's investment in Dot & Key is a testament to the strength and the performance of the brand, its long-term potential, and the key strategic role that Nykaa's played in helping scale it. Earth Rhythm, we acquired around 18.5% in FY23 and then acquired an additional stake in FY25, taking our stake now upward of 70%. With this additional investment, the company affirms its commitment to the long-term opportunity of Earth Rhythm, which has been built on the ethos of transparency, efficacy, and clean beauty. Earth Rhythm also owns its R&D capabilities, which we find very exciting, and it allows the brand to pursue really interesting formulations and very unique innovations to meet the customer needs. We had also gotten a question on R&D and what % of expenses for the own brands come for that. So what we will say is that we are trying to build a world-class brands business, and for that, R&D is absolutely essential. So we've been investing deeply in our R&D capabilities, everything from building our R&D lab to having very strong comprehensive testing to working with a very large network of formulators, manufacturers, R&D experts to come up with the right product. And there's no one solution for every product. We have a different approach to R&D for every product that we launch. But we do know that this is the heart and soul of our business, and there's a lot of investment, both in terms of money, time, and energy in getting R&D and innovation right. With that, I'll hand over to Ganesh to take on some questions.
Thanks, Adwaita. Am I audible? Yeah. So there were many questions and suggestions around dividend payment as well as dividend payment policies. The board has not recommended any dividend on equity shares of the company for the year ended March 31st, 2025, considering the fact that the company is in a growth stage and it is prudent to use internal accruals for supporting the company's long-term growth objectives at this juncture. The board of directors will consider paying dividend to shareholders at an appropriate time, taking into account multiple factors as have been detailed in the dividend distribution policy, which is approved by the board and which is available on the company's website. There were questions around EBITDA margins across key segments of the company. So we'd like to share that the beauty business reported EBITDA of 8.9% as a percentage of NSV in FY25 versus 8.7% in FY24. The expansion in EBITDA margins by 20 basis points YOY has been on the back of strong own brands performance with higher margins and scale efficiencies. And this has been achieved in spite of the fact that there have been higher investments in marketing. Coming to the fashion business, the EBITDA loss came down to 8.3% as a percentage to NSV in FY25 versus 10.3% loss in FY24. So the improvement of 200 basis points has been led by operating efficiencies across gross margin and fulfillment expenses along with scale efficiencies. There was also a question on the profits at subsidiary levels. So at a One Nykaa level, at a consolidated level, we made a profit after tax of 72 crores in FY25, which is a growth of 81% YOY. Then when we look at the subsidiaries, Nykaa Retail, which is our platform beauty business, as well as FSN Brands, which has the Nykaa offline stores, both these businesses together account for 90% plus of the Nykaa's overall revenue, and they're profitable at PAT level. There are other subsidiaries, including Dot & Key, which are also profitable. Then when we look at the major businesses, the only one at this point in time amongst major businesses, which is still to get into profit break-even, is Nykaa Fashion, which reported a 8.3% EBITDA loss for FY25, and where we expect the break-even to happen pretty soon. There was also a question on whether Nykaa is on track to deliver consolidated net profitability on a full year basis for FY26. So Nykaa has been profitable since its listing, and our EBITDA margins for FY25 grew to 6% from 4.3% in FY22, and this has been led by operating leverage and scale efficiencies. Our PAT for FY25 was at 72 crore. While we do not give forward-looking guidance, we remain optimistic of sustainable growth and improvement in profitability over the longer term. There was also a question on store count, what model do we have, what are capex plans around that, etc. So as Anchit mentioned, while we are at 250 plus in terms of stores and have an aspiration of taking it to 500 by the end of this decade, I would like to add over there that we have a company-operated and company-owned model. We do not have any franchisee stores currently. And as you would all recall, over the last couple of years, in FY22 and FY23, we had significant amount of capex on the back of stores rollout, significant expansion of warehousing facilities as well as capex facility. I'm referring to FY22 and FY23 here. From there, the capex as a percentage of sales has moderated, and in FY25, this was about 2% of sales, with the primary focus now on stores rollout in addition to our investments in tech spends. There was a question on further plan of consolidation of other online businesses, etc., and whether there are plans for further amalgamations of existing subsidiaries like the ones we had done in FY25. We will continue to evaluate business restructuring initiatives on an ongoing basis, and the objective here would be to bring about operational synergies by streamlining business operations across entities. There was also a question on debt at the company level. As we keep making investments to expand and grow our business, we also continuously monitor the debt levels so as to ensure that our debt levels remain optimized. Our debt equity ratio for FY25 stood at 0.5%, thereby 0.5 times, thereby indicating that there is significant room for further leverage. The ROCE for FY25 also came in at 11.3%, which is 380 basis points higher than the previous year, while delivering a revenue growth of 25%. There was the last question which I would like to cover. There was also a question on the percentage of online business for Nykaa. As you're all aware, we are predominantly a e-commerce online business, and therefore the share of online will be ballpark in the range of about 85%. With that, I would like to hand it back to the operator.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, I would request you to give the vote of thanks, please.